Yeah. Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone else that doesn't have those kind of gender-specific endearments. These are your amazing hosts, Gavin.
And Ashton.
And today, we're going to give you some, not necessarily gaming-related topics like last time, but a lot more public news to say.
More
now
drama.
Yeah, drama especially. Now let's jump in to our very first topic, Mr. Beast buying a waitress a branded car. And for some reason, people don't like it.
Oh my god, people are up in arms about it. They were like angered.
That's pretty usual. Typically, when one person gives another person a car as a gift, it's seen as an unquestionably loving thing. In the case of famous YouTuber, that's not always the case. There's a lot to unpack, and we're interested to see if you think that he's in the wrong or not. Mr. Beast is one of the world's most famous online personalities, and he's mostly known for extravagant giveaways. In this particular case, he tips a waitress an entire car, a Toyota Corolla, after she serves his table. Unsurprisingly, she seems incredibly blown away and grateful for this gesture. Sadly, that's not where the story ends, though, because in this particular instance, the car in question features a wrap, possibly a paint job, emblazoned with Mr. Beast chocolate bar company logo and branding. That has not sat well with citizens on the interwebs. So basically, she's done promotion for his company by driving the car. One person tweeted.
Yeah, if you go online and look up like a picture of this car, it's basically just like a modern like looking sedan, just like a daily driver commute car.
Yeah.
But it has like lightning bolt design on it, and it says Feastables, like in the middle side of it on both sides.
That was far from a vitriolic comment. Your insurance in Texas are going to be wild, wrote another. Others said that he decorated the car like, quote, a 12-year-old fan's laptop. It's also not the only time Mr. Beast, whose real name is Jimmy Donaldson, has been in hot water over a giveaway of one sort or another. Recently, he paid for 1,000 people's sight-restoring cataract surgery. Despite the objective good that came about through that effort, some decried it as charity porn. What the fuck is that?
I don't even want to look that up.
That can't be real. It's just people that are mad that good things aren't happening to them.
He's mad that he's donating so much.
Yeah, well, other people. Last year, Donaldson gave away some $3.2 million along with a private jet and a private island, according to videos posted on YouTube. There, he has some 139 million followers. Certainly, it's understandable for some to question the sincerity of someone who films their good deeds. Others argue it's precisely because of the filming of those good deeds that Donaldson can afford to commit them. Which side is right? Was Mr. Beast wrong for gifting a car covered in his own brand? And yeah.
What do you think about Kevin?
I think people are just looking for a reason to get mad. That's literally the beginning and end of it.
Yep.
People are mad that good things aren't happening to them. They're like... another quote-unquote controversy is that people were accusing Mr. Beast of using free labor to pretty up his concession stands at like supermarkets for his festivals.
When they'd refuse to do to clean up the stands and everything.
And my philosophy regarding that is like, what happened to good just basic human decency? The ability to do something without respecting anything. Or not respecting anything in return. Like, where has that gone within the past however many years?
It's another thing that I've heard about it, like a take on it, is people are just mad that they can't donate as much as he can. They're like, well, how come he can donate this much money but I can't? So I'm going to criticize him because he didn't donate enough of his money.
I mean, I've never actually heard that angle before. I mean, if they want to donate, just donate. Every little penny helps. It doesn't matter how much or how little you donate to someone or something.
Yeah.
No, if you want to feel good about giving excess cash that you don't really need, to people that are less fortunate or to an organization you really believe in. Where's the harm in that? Even if it's not like $10 billion or whatever.
Mm-hmm. It's just good to, even like any extra money would just be good to help.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be always a big fancy amount or anything like that.
Yeah. Like, people also complain that, you know, all the rich people in the world are like, you know, always the most terrible people. Like, you know, fucking Jeff Bezos, he's enslaving people in damn Amazon warehouses and not giving them enough pee breaks or whatever. Or Elon Musk, he's a tyrant. What did he do? We don't know, but he's a tyrant. And meanwhile, Mr. Beast, who's like very much openly a very good person, and he does his best to, you know, make sure like people that are in need, at least in his immediate area, and he's trying to expand out too. Like, he's trying to make sure they are living a better life due to his like direct intervention.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, as I was saying, people are saying that, you know, good people should be getting all this money, and now that someone who's doing good deeds is getting like a lot of money, all of a sudden Mr. Beast is the bad. Yeah, Mr. Beast is
like everyone else.
Yeah, Mr. Beast is the bad guy, and that's the beginning and end of it for whatever reason.
Yeah, funny enough, I don't think it was mentioned in any of this, but he later went back and asked her if she wanted the rap to be removed, and she said she really liked it. Yeah. So it just stuck it up to everyone else that was saying like, oh, she probably doesn't like it, or oh, it pulls too much attention towards her.
Yeah. Actually, that reminds me. So during the video where he cured 1,000 people's blindness, people were saying like, oh, I bet those people were felt used. And it's like, how do you know? You don't know these people. Like,
hey, even if they were used, like, if they thought that they were used, they still basically, I'm pretty sure, got all of that 100% free. Like, they have a better vision now because somebody was willing to donate. It's just the donation was a little bit different than other donations.
Yeah. Well, direct payment for surgery.
Yeah.
Like, alright, in my situation, if someone like Mr. Beast was willing to pay for a vital surgery of mine, and he said he wanted to make a video about it, I wouldn't care. Like, I'd be his personal slave for a day. If
he was, like, shitting on you the whole entire time. If it still was, like, helping you, which he'd never do any of that. He'd never, like, shit on you or anything about it. Yeah. But even if he was just helping you, I would never feel like used. I'd just be like, you can record to profit.
Yeah. Yeah. And another good point that I remember hearing for Mr. Beast is, shouldn't good people, like, that are, you know, record themselves doing good things, or like maybe not even record themselves doing good things, just that do good things in general, shouldn't they profit from the good things that they're doing? You know, like the good old what goes around comes around argument.
Well, not according to the people on Twitter.
That sounds about right.
Everything is wrong.
Yeah, there always has to be a villain. It just what happens is that most of the time they're wrong, sometimes they're right. And when they're right, they never live it down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you want to already switch to the next topic?
Sure. This is yours, so take the reins, why don't ya?
I'm going to read off the article. This is the first time doing it. Male student tells teacher he doesn't accept his punishment because he's an alpha. Oh my god. I think I've showed you this video before, but it is the dumbest thing ever. Like, it's just unexpected that somebody could do this in a classroom.
Yeah, he did show me the video, and in the video, like, you hear all the girls in the class just laughing. And they're not laughing because what he's saying is... Yeah, they're not laughing because what he's saying is funny. They're laughing at him.
It's the cringe. I bet you, if I was in that classroom when he said this, I would get, like, secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah.
Like, I would feel embarrassed to be in that classroom.
Yeah.
But continuing with the article, actually there's a picture right here. It says, "What has Andrew Tate done to this generation?" And it's just, if you haven't seen the video, I highly recommend looking it up. You could probably just look up something like "kid thinks he's alpha" on TikTok or something, and you could find it, or just YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But let me get back to the article. Kids are getting out of hands, and people are wondering why. At school, kids are so bad that the teachers are quitting in the middle of class. There's one overlooked reason for the kids to be acting out so badly: the internet. Quite simply, kids watch videos on the internet and then they begin to adapt that behavior as their own. In this situation, the teacher was disciplining a student for acting out. The student refused to accept this. He repeatedly told the teacher he's an alpha. Internet has become such a big place that there is now a niche for everything. A demographic that has seen tremendous growth is the bro culture. That is one of the most annoying cultures. Like the dude bro culture.
Oh yeah, the frat boy.
Yeah, like everything's about them. They think they're like the shit. They're just the best people ever.
Yeah, they live to party, and when something goes wrong, somehow it's never their fault.
Let me skip ahead a little bit. So when a student is in class, he is ignoring what his job is. To be clear, a student's job is to learn and follow the teacher's instructions. When a student refuses to do so, they become subject to negative consequences. Clearly, the student who ended up on the wrong side of rules was watching some videos on YouTube. Because he was acting out, his teacher had to punish him. The student told him he refused to accept this because he's an alpha. That's the end of the article, but the video explains or just like shows what they're talking about a lot more. The kid's basically standing up in the middle of class, like in front of the whole entire class next to the teacher. And the teacher's like, I don't know exactly what I was saying, I'll just give an example or like a reference. He's like, what you're doing is wrong. And he's like, I don't have to accept your rules. I'm an alpha. Alpha doesn't listen to rules. An alpha makes their own rules. He's just saying a bunch of random, not really random, but just a bunch of like out of hand weird things.
Yeah. Like, I generally think like TikTok and people like Andrew Tate or like anyone like those people like generally are brain rotting to hell the people that like
they get rich quick.
Yeah, the people that want to think that they're better than everyone else.
Like the people pumping like their universities and like the best way to earn money is to spend your money here, and then I get your money and you get nothing in return. Yeah.
Yes, spend your money here, here, and here, but you have to pay my $50 a month fee for a course for information you can find on the internet.
And get invited to a Discord server full of top Gs.
Yeah, top Gs.
The top G.
Yeah. I guess on a little side note, Andrew Tate and his brother are under house arrest in Romania, so yeah.
I can't even keep up with them anymore.
Yeah, it's not really worth it.
All I know is he like grew out his hair. He has a beard now.
Interesting. Yeah, like you really gotta wonder, like, how do people really like latch onto this stuff? You know?
I think it's just people finding like they may think like one way sometime, and like in the past, and then just like have to stick with that, or like they just let it grow on them so much that they think that that's the right way to be or act.
Yeah, I suppose
that like these terms like alpha and beta actually matter.
Yeah, what I think this might be is this is a prime example of failure of parenting. Like, this kid would not be acting like this if his parents like cared a little bit more for him. Yeah. Or maybe this is a result of his parents caring too much about him.
Yeah, it could either be too much or too little.
Mm-hmm. Either way, it's gonna be a one hell of a storm.
I wonder what happened to him after this video.
He probably just got sent down to like the principal's office, like, you know, he was probably like forcibly like pulled out of class by like a police officer or something.
I wonder if this is like a reoccurring thing. Like every single week he just does this.
Dude, that kid is probably like one of the biggest losers in the entire school. Like in school, I don't get me wrong, I'm not the most popular kid, but I'm nothing compared to that guy. Like I'm not the kid though like who thinks he's just the shit, who will just get out in front of class and say, "I'm the alpha. You don't have to follow your rules."
Those kids, luckily we don't have anybody just like this in our school, but the kids that always think they're the shit are like the out of control freshmen.
Yeah.
Freshmen, at least in our school, need to be, because usually the way it goes is like the freshmen get pushed down by the seniors. Like, I wouldn't say like, I would say put them in their place, but not in like a physical way, but just teach them to respect people more. Our school does not have, our freshmen don't have any respect for anybody. But that would be kind of funny if this kid like acts up once a week and like the teacher can just tell when he's about to act up, so he just like calls for the office as soon as he just sees like signs of him acting up.
Yeah, just here we go again, this kid again.
Oh great. He's coming up again.
Yeah.
I wonder how many of these like incidents before like social media and all of that were happening. Or
like
if it's just because like social media now is like starting to become a thing that these people are starting to pop out more. Like they're starting to actually think that all of it's more relevant and like people actually believe in these things.
Yeah. Well, what I think it might be is it's probably like it's definitely like way worse now. But I think it definitely did exist before the age of social media, because it was just like a bunch of like dumb cocky kids that wanted to imitate like their favorite like actors or their favorite character from their favorite action movie.
Yeah.
Like everyone wanted to be John McClane from Die Hard or Rambo from Rambo.
Yeah. Well, back in the day too though, like if you were to act out, the teacher could literally just like beat the shit out of you. Or at least like punish you with physical like a ruler.
Means. Yeah. Of course, they can't really do that anymore.
Yeah.
Which,
some
for
teachers,
better...
You can go.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, for better or for worse, it's just how it is.
I've heard some stories of teachers getting fired because they accidentally put their hands on a student or something nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, it used to be so, like, less strict that you could, like... There's so many rules now that are way different from back how they used to be. Like, you're not allowed to physically hurt students for being, like, delinquents and all that. But now, like, you can't put your hands on students. Like, you're not allowed... Well, this is a good one, but you're not allowed to have, like, to be alone with a student in the classroom. Yeah. And lots of safety precautions.
Yeah.
And
well, that definitely is for better and for worse. Probably for more better.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Everyone knows there's always going to be that one teacher that
just
does...
a one really messed up teacher.
Yeah. And of course, the kid would want to try to speak out about it, and maybe this is a kid that misbehaves, or like just like a little bit, and the teacher's gonna say, "Oh, that kid's lying. Don't believe them," and that the teacher's gonna be believed more because he's supposed to be more refutable in what he says.
Mm-hmm. Like he's the reputable source.
Yeah.
But school's changed a lot from the old days.
Yeah,
I'm acting like I was in school back then.
Yeah.
Back in my day.
Back in my day, we actually gave a fuck.
Back in my day, we went to school up hills both ways.
Yeah, up hills both ways. We fought a dragon along the way.
Yep.
That was just a thing back in the day.
Usual grandpa and grandpa things.
Yeah. Now you kids have your school buses and your school lunches they can get for free through government programs and blah, blah, blah.
Back in my day, we'd get mac and cheese infected with maggots.
Yeah.
We'd have to eat it or else we'd starve for a week.
Yeah, that's how it was back in the 19-something.
19, somewhere around that time.
Yeah. Do you think school could get any better for, like, future generations? Or do you think, like, if they ever try to implement something new, it's just going to go straight downhill?
From what I'm seeing out of our school, I think it's just going to get worse or worse. Or at least, like, our freshmen are just a bad patch.
Yeah. Like, even my chemistry teacher said, like, you know, she doesn't necessarily condone, like, violence, especially on school grounds, but some of those freshmen just need to be put in their place, and it's the beginning and end of it.
Yeah, I don't think we should say that teacher's name to to not get them fired.
Yeah.
But from what I'm seeing, like, younger generations are just starting to become more defiant. Like,
Yeah.
when I was younger, I thought I was defiant, but seeing the kids now, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
I remember when I was younger, I would, like, sit in class and think in my head, like, what is the point of this? But, like, the kids now are like, asking about this, like, to the teacher, and, like, constantly, like, telling them it's useless and there's no reason that they should be teaching it and stuff like that.
I'm guilty of that, definitely.
Yeah, but you're probably not doing it in, like, a mean, harassive way.
Yeah.
Unless you are.
I mean, I try to stay respectful. Like, you know, even if I really don't respect a teacher for whatever reason, like, I'll be nice.
Well, yeah, at the end of the day, it is their job.
Yeah.
They probably didn't want to work at, like, that school, but they're just hired to be a teacher to teach things.
So
it's not like they're supposed to be an all-above, like, person.
Yeah. Besides, they ain't paid enough for this shit.
Yeah. There's some places, though, where teachers are, like, the most highly regarded, like, class of workers.
Yeah. Well, definitely not here in the States, because if that was the case, then they'd be paid more.
I don't remember where, but it's definitely out of the States. But the teachers are, like, they get, like, free healthcare, they get, like, free housing, and, like, it's essentially, like, higher regards than, like, doctors. Like, their regards here compared to there.
Yeah. I mean, makes sense. Like, teachers should be, like, held in high regard because they're literally paving the way.
Next generation.
Yeah, paving the way for the next generation. So, like, our success is based off of their ability to, you know, teach, like, these skills. Like, even if like math, like whatever ruling to math isn't helpful, at least they're giving us the opportunity to, you know, be able to problem solve, like, at the very least.
Yeah, like, let you think about it, or like, at least the way teaching is like, you go through all the years, and then, like, near the end you decide, like, hey, I'm more interested in English, so maybe I want to have a future career in English related works.
Mm-hmm.
Just lets you, like, thin out where you think you'd possibly work the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, teachers need a lot more praise.
Yeah. I remember hearing, like, a bit of, like, a theory. Like, this could definitely be taken as conspiracy, but, yeah. The reason why teachers aren't paid that much, and it's so that people are less inclined to become teachers. And the reason why people want that is because the more average the education is in America, the more people are, like, once they get high school, the more likely there are to accepting the more, like, not
norms.
Antiquated. Yeah, the norms of, like, bad business, like longer hours and lower pay, you know,
less 9-to-5 jobs.
Yeah, less than, like, little to no benefits, and that's just, yeah. Well, I mean, whether or not you really believe in that, but I do think that there is, like, weight to that theory because, you know, everyone, this will be a little political, but everyone knows that a lot of politicians, they're getting handed, like, buttloads of money through lobbyists. Doesn't matter what side, but they're getting kickbacks from, like, all these big companies, right?
Yeah.
And because of that, they're, like, I guess they may be more inclined to keep the education system how it is, so like they can get their complacent workers that won't complain, that'll do these jobs for just barely above minimum wage, stuff like that.
Yeah, I can understand I can understand like your ideas on that theory.
Yeah.
Just like the people that are, I won't say suck ups, but like the people that just like take it.
Yeah.
Just are willing to do it without complaining.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, that's going to be us in a few years. We're going to be the ones taking orders like dogs.
Hey, don't make it that grim.
Listen, I'm just being realistic here.
Maybe it could work out differently, you never know.
Yeah, that's true. Who knows? This could blow up. Yeah, we could win, one of us could win the lottery, both of us could win the lottery.
Put it all into the podcasting fund.
Yeah.
We're going to get Elon Musk on next episode, guys.
Dude. Well, probably not, but,
Oh, you never know.
Yeah. I remember my sister, obviously not going to name her, but she told me that, it's important to, it'd probably be important for me to get an actual, like, career and not just, try to focus on podcasting, which is fair because, entertainment stuff like this, it's one in a million. You really gotta catch the lightning in the bottle.
Yeah, and you gotta keep, like, consistency, you gotta stick with it.
Yeah, you gotta keep up with, like, the new stuff. You gotta be, original.
Yeah. As much, like, being unique as possible, so then you find, like a target demographic for your content.
Yeah.
Which that's really hard to do nowadays.
Yeah, it's very hard to, be original because chances are someone's doing something very similar to what you are.
Yeah.
Like, it's the internet. You're destined to find someone or something.
Yeah. The only thing that, like, if you can't find something new, then you gotta do something better than the person that was originally doing it.
I mean, that's business.
If you want to, like, get up in the ranks.
Yeah. If you want to get big, then that means you just gotta, start pumping out something, like, similar, but something better.
Yeah, like something similar, but maybe it has a little bit of a different twist.
Yeah. I mean, like at phone companies. Like, Apple, for example, they say that they pioneer a lot of stuff. Well, that's true. I don't really know. But, everyone knows that their prices are absolutely insane. Like $1,000 for a phone.
Yeah.
Like, and the loyalists, of course, will take that without a second thought.
This is the cheapest model they've made.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like the Galaxy, those phone series, or like Google Pixel, like those are like less than half, and like has like roughly the same things.
Yeah, some of the new Galaxy phones, I'm pretty sure, have like 100 times zoom.
Yeah, zooming real far.
What are you gonna even do with that amount of zoom?
See the man in the moon.
I can understand like some scenarios that'd be cool, but it's still nice to have that option, even though you're not going to use it that much.
Yeah, of course. There's always going to be brand loyalty.
Yeah,
people that will die hard stick to one brand over the other. Like my family's guilty of that. We've been with Apple for a while. Will we switch? We don't know.
Yeah.
Well, everyone else might not, but I could.
Yeah, there's a couple things. I've been in and out of Apple. My first phone was an iPhone 5, and then I switched to like a Galaxy S9, and now I'm back to an iPhone 11.
Yeah, my first phone was a iPhone 5S. Then I lost that, and I had to use a 4. Then I got a 5. Then I lost that, and I had to use the 4 again. Then I found both of them. Then I used the 5S. Then I got a 7, which thankfully I never lost. And now I have a 12 that I never lost.
Funny enough, the iPhone 7 is still... I think it actually discontinued on this recent update. But it had all the current updates until the recent ones, like iOS 16. Thing with iPhones is once you get into the ecosystem, like let's say your friend has an iPhone, or like a close relative of yours has an iPhone, there's benefits that you both get when you both have an iPhone. You know, like there's the things that are like, hey, maybe it is good to have an iPhone over an Android. Mm-hmm. Like the texting, you know, like how when you're texting an iPhone you get blue text, and then when you're texting an Android or another device you get green text. Mm-hmm. And like you can share videos from iPhone to iPhone easier, and they're higher quality, and like you can see when people look at your text on iPhone, but you can't see when people look at your text on Android.
Yeah.
Just all like the little quality things that keep people like staying in the ecosystem.
Yeah. I mean, in the end, it doesn't really matter. You know, everyone's going to have their preference. No, I'm probably going to keep my iPhone 12 for a while. At least until I like absolutely need to buy a new phone.
Yeah. I just try to keep my phones as long as possible.
Yeah.
Until they either become slow, or like there's a apparent issue, like the battery is getting really bad, or like there's a big like jump or upgrade from the one I have currently.
Yeah, at least something noticeable.
Yeah. I want to switch to our next topic?
Yeah, sure.
Get off the iPhone, whatever tangent we were on there.
iPhone, education, alpha, I don't know.
Do you want me to lead with this one?
Well, should I lead? Yeah, sure, I'll lead. So, earlier tonight, me and Ashton and his lady friend, we saw the Mario movie.
Mm-hmm.
How much did you like it?
The story seemed kind of like jumpy. It was like flowy, but it seemed like there could have like, for example, this seems like it was like the base game, and like you get most of the story, you know, all the story's there, but then like a couple months from now there's DLC that like a DLC or like a new rendition of the game, like a remaster, that just adds like the same story but adds like chops of information through the story that just make more sense. Like it seems like the first before the remaster like DLC. So like the story is all it's pretty good. There's some humor in it. I think most people like it, even adults. But the soundtrack is like god tier.
I gotta agree on that. It's super good. Like there is like a song from I think every single major game in the Mario series in that movie.
Mm-hmm. Like there's okay, we're gonna get into spoilers now. Spoilers, people, spoilers.
Yeah, heavy spoilers.
Whole like movie spoilers.
Yeah.
Nuclear spoilers.
Yep, nuclear indeed.
So there's one part in the movie, I'm gonna jump near the end just to talk about this one part that was super cool with the music. So there's a part where, you know, like Bowser's trying to collect the star at the end, and he's gonna use it to impress Peach to like marry him. Mm-hmm. But near the end, Mario and Luigi grab the star, and you know what song's about to play. You know, like whenever you pick up the star, you hear like the
the most iconic invincibility theme ever.
Mm-hmm. And then they pick up the star, and like the music picks up, and it isn't just like the bass song. It's like an orchestral rendition of the song as they're like running through and beating up like all the bad guys and like beating the shit out of Bowser.
Yeah, there's a I think I remember hearing a choir too.
Mm-hmm. The soundtrack is just phenomenal.
Yeah. My opinions is that about like the story is that it's very good and the animation is amazing. Like I'll definitely say that. Like I like the story that Mario went from nothing to like world-renowned hero.
Yeah.
Like a real Cinderella story.
Mm-hmm. It starts from like, so the way that the plot of the Mario movie is it's like the start of everything, basically, in a way. Mm-hmm. It's probably like a rework of like the whole story in a way. This is probably like a new, I would say it's like a new universe of all of the Mario lore, if you want to say it like that.
Yeah. Well, like basically like a soft reboot.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to go for. Soft reboot.
Yeah.
But the music, like, there's like the whole entire movie, I was just sitting there and like I'd hear like a noticeable song and I would just get goosebumps. Like,
Yeah.
have you ever just like heard a song or like been so into the music that you literally get goosebumps from listening to something?
Yep.
Like the nostalgic purpose of it, or like just it's that good that it's like, oh my god, this is like amazing.
Yeah. And if you're a longtime Nintendo fan, then you're definitely gonna get a treat. There's so many Nintendo references.
Oh
Like,
my god.
like just as one, there's like a massive reference to like Punch Out.
Right at the start.
Yeah, right at the start. And that's a game series that I don't think Nintendo's done like a whole lot with recently.
New Punch Out hint?
Wouldn't that be swell?
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
But
makes sense.
all the Easter eggs, if you could call them Easter eggs, it might just be subtle game nods because it's all mostly Nintendo. But like on almost every single shot or like setting or scene, there's at least 10. I would say about like 10 per like setting of like a place or location.
Mm-hmm.
Like on the background of the opening screen when Mario's watching his advertisement and everything, like you see some of the Punch Out characters, and then like you see like the original voice actor from Mario play like a different character other than the main Mario, who's voiced by Chris Pratt.
Mm-hmm.
And then like there's another part where Mario and Luigi are walking out, and like there's a truck that's in the background that has like Mr. Game & Watch on the icon of the truck. Just so much like packed into it. It's like it was refined for years and years.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the guy who mainly antagonizes the Mario Bros, Spike, I think his name was, he was wearing a Wrecking Crew hat.
Oh yeah, him with the Viper glasses.
Yeah, the visor or whatever.
Viper shades.
Yeah, and I guess to the cast, I think everyone that was chosen did a really good job. Like Seth Rogen for Donkey Kong fit very well.
Dude, they even had the iconic laugh too.
Yeah.
The hair.
Yeah.
You hear it like at least 3 times in the movie.
Yeah. Jack Black for Bowser. That was, in my opinion, the best choice for Bowser I think they could have ever made.
I didn't even like notice like for maybe one of the characters at the start, which was Chris Pratt. Like I couldn't even tell Jack Black was voicing Bowser, but for like Chris Pratt at the start, I was like, okay, I can kind of hear it. But then like as the movie went on, I just didn't really realize it.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely know it's him, but
It
like
just,
the more the movie goes on,
fits
the more you're okay with it.
Yeah, like it seems more natural.
Yeah, and I think Chris Pratt did a good job with Mario, and the guy who played Luigi, like I think it was Charlie Day. I think he did a good job with Luigi.
Yeah, every like cameo voice actor. I'm sorry, I don't really know all the names for them, but they all did really good. Like the actor for Peach was really good. The Toad voice actor fits so well.
Yeah.
Like it just seems like perfect. Like I just imagine the voice actor to be actually Toad.
Yeah.
Like it just fit the humor and everything.
Yeah. He may not have the squeaky voice that everyone might be used to, but it still fits pretty well.
Yeah.
And then there's the Toad that talks like this, who's part of basically the War Council.
The Grand Toad.
Yeah.
But looking at the image, because I have like a topic sheet pulled up, they added so many like, just, you know how Gavin was talking about like the music references to each game? They also had like nods to almost every single Mario game in the movie, and also like Donkey Kong references too.
They had the DK rap. That's awesome.
They had the DK rap in it too. Like, so the part where Donkey Kong gets introduced is Mario and Peach go to find help to try to defeat Bowser because Mario's underpowered at the beginning and doesn't understand like anything and how to fight. So Peach brings him to Donkey Kong, like the Donkey Kong the Donkey Kong country, as you could say.
Fish.
And Mario has to fight Donkey Kong in the classic Donkey Kong, like the original Donkey Kong layout.
Yeah, there's like red steel girders like littering the place.
Yep, and then they brawl. How long do you think that fight was? Like 10 minutes?
Maybe not. Definitely not 10. Like, I'd say like probably closer to roughly 4.
It was really that short?
Yeah, I'd say so.
It seemed like it was way longer than that.
Yeah, they're good kind of long though.
Yeah. But after... you can go.
Yeah, and more Easter eggs is during it, they show Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong from Donkey Kong Country.
I don't remember his exact name, but there's also the Grandpa Kong.
Yeah, Cranky.
Cranky Kong, that's his name. But
he's the king.
Yeah, once they're done with that fight, they're like... So the rules for the fight was if Mario could defeat Donkey Kong, then the monkey country, like all the monkeys would agree to help them fight Bowser. So Mario defeats Donkey Kong, and Donkey Kong has like a disagreement with them, like they hate each other. Mm-hmm. Kind of like a Pokemon rivalry, like they're willing to help each other at times, but they still kind of hate each other.
Yeah. Well, it's basically been known through like gaming history that Mario and Donkey Kong have always had a bit of a rivalry. Yeah. Sometimes they're enemies, sometimes they're friends. It really just depends.
Originally, he was mad because he couldn't hit him with the dumb barrels.
Yeah.
He's been holding that grudge since what is it, 1981?
I'd say so. Whenever the original Donkey Kong was created.
Yeah. But after he like befriends Donkey Kong and everyone, then they go to like a workshop and build Mario Kart cars. Mm-hmm. And the way that they select the cars is just like in Mario Kart 8. Mm-hmm. Like, it has the dial for the cars, and there's the dial for the wheels, and then it has the dial for the glider. Mm-hmm. And then, like, everyone picks out their cars, and that's, a reference to Mario Kart.
Yep. And they drive on Rainbow Road, one of the most iconic tracks ever. It has the original Rainbow Road theme, too. Just a remix of it.
It's just so cool that they see, like, this was made by Illumination, right?
Yeah.
Illumination did such a good job.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
if they want to make a sequel, they definitely should, because if it's as good as the first one, then,
Yeah, hopefully I wouldn't say, like, rush it, but, like, produce it faster. Maybe in, like, a couple of years they release the second one.
Yeah, let them take their time. So it takes time for works of art to, come to fruition.
Yeah. I wonder how long they're working on this.
Like, I don't know. Like, the trailers were, like, released, like, sometime last year, maybe? Or, like, 6 months ago?
I'd say.
So...
You looking it up?
If I could.
Should do a quick on live search up.
When did the Mario movie start production? 2020. It took 3 years to come out.
Oh, wow. Hey, that's not that bad, I would say.
Film grossed $148 million worldwide and received mixed views from critics.
Mixed?
Yeah.
These have to be, like, people born, like, before the 2000s. I mean, we were born before the 2000s, but, like...
We were born after the 2000s.
Yeah, that. But it just seems like they have to appreciate it, at least in some way. At least more than a mixed.
What could they say? It's too goofy. It's too childish in nature. It's a kid's movie.
It's a kid's movie that kids and adults can appreciate.
Mm-hmm. Anyone with a gaming background, or someone, who wants to take their kid to, appreciate, a Mario-based movie.
Which if you asked a girl if they've ever played Mario Kart, not saying like girls can't play games, but like one of the most recognized games between all like the genders is Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Someone's played Mario Kart at least, like each person's played a Mario Kart game at least once.
Yeah. or they've seen Mario somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd imagine that Mario is the single most recognizable character in video games ever.
Yeah, that or Pokemon. That's kind of a tough one.
Yeah, actually, Pokemon is technically the biggest brand in the world, so I'd say Pikachu is arguably more recognizable than Mario, but it's probably not exactly by much.
Yeah, but there's the nods going back to like the subtle references and everything. There's a Luma, referencing Mario Galaxy, Mario Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
They also have a reference. You could kind of say this is a reference to the Yoshi Island games with Baby Mario and Baby Luigi.
Oh yeah, and not to mention the stampede of Yoshis scene in the one scene.
Mm-hmm. I was looking at like TikTok and like news and everything. People are kind of disappointed that there wasn't much Yoshi in the movie.
Yeah. Well,
there was like a 3-second scene. People are saying. Yeah.
Well, they're gonna set up stuff for the the sequel that might be inevitable at this point.
The after credits.
Yeah.
Showed a clip of a Yoshi egg that was in the movie at one point, and the Yoshi egg, it ends with it zooming in on the egg starts cracking, and then the screen goes black, and then you just hear the iconic Yoshi sound effect.
Yep. In the Brooklyn sewers, oddly enough, too.
Hey, Ma, there's a fucking Yoshi in the sewers again.
What?
There's a fucking Yoshi in the sewers.
Oh, no.
The fucking Yoshi's back. But I wonder... I'm assuming Yoshi's going to have a voice actor, right?
Probably.
Do you think it's going to talk, or is it going to be more of like a...
Just sound effects?
Like a comedic relief character, kind of like... I'm trying to think of one. Like how each like film or show has like that one iconic cute character that like sells them plushies and stuff, like Baby Yoda and Pikachu.
Yeah.
Like, they're kind of the main like topic of the movie, but they're also used just to sell like
merch.
Plushies and merch and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling it could be like that. Like Yoshi's just going to be he's not going to talk, I'm guessing. Yeah. This is going to be like a god tier prediction right here. I think he's not going to talk, or he's going to talk like very little. And he's just going to be like a comedic relief or like a comedic humor character.
Yeah, he's probably going to make his like little Yoshi noises.
Yeah, he does in the games. Struggling to fly and the...
Yeah, flutter jump, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go on? Wait.
Almost. I just wanted to make one more point about the movie. Like, the pacing is good, but feels like some of the humor breaks it up, and maybe depending on like who you are, that could be a major turnoff. But for me, it's not that bad. It just
Oh, we forgot to mention the most iconic part.
What?
The nuke.
Oh yeah. Or for sake of reference, we decided to like we made the joke of the Bowser war crimes. Like see how many war crimes Bowser committed. Let's see. He destroyed an entire city using only his flame breath. That probably had like a lot of civilian casualties, so that's definitely one.
He proceeded to loot the castle after destroying it too.
Yep. Supposed war. That's another war crime.
He invades territory and causes random violence.
Yeah. Debatably a war crime. Let's see. He tortures prisoners. That's definitely a war crime.
Yeah, cruel torture.
Yeah.
Is torturement a word?
Torturement? Probably not. Let's see.
Near the end of inmates.
Yeah. Or POWs. Because they're like... They're just basically always in a state of war.
Yeah. I just want to point something out about it, because I just really want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Bowser in this movie seemed like very driven by love. He seemed like the only reason he was like retaliating and rebelling was just because he wanted to get his love from Peach. Yeah. Like the whole reason he was mad at Mario and Luigi is because Bowser saw Mario as a threat towards getting Peach, like Peach's affection.
Yeah, I mean, he even stated during like the final showdown that you're like the only thing in the way of my happiness or something like that.
Yeah, which I'm sorry, Bowser, but that's not how that works.
Yeah, listen, I think any girl with a stable head on her shoulders would kind of look at a tyrant that murders like dozens upon dozens upon thousands of innocent people for
the Koopa Kingdom, or
yeah,
Koopa Kingdom, Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah, they might look away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. And the big one, use of nuclear weapons. What do you mean by nuclear weapons, you might ask? There's a bonsai bill that shows up.
It's implied that it's nuclear.
Yeah. When it explodes, it basically has something similar to a nuclear blast, where it gets all bright.
Wasn't it Bowser's basically his last resort?
Yep. He even said unleash the bonsai bill, which implied it has the might to destroy an entire city, just like an atomic bomb.
Doesn't it come out of the top of the volcano, like his flying fortress?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of flying fortresses, that was another theme that was super amazing to hear. Like, as Bowser's castle is like flying through the sky, like his fortress, it plays like the airship theme from, I think it was Mario 3.
Yep, Mario 3.
It just plays a really good rendition of that. Mm-hmm. It's just goosebumps. That's all I can say. Goosebumps.
Yeah, and when Mario's touring the Mushroom Kingdom, we hear like a mix of like, I think the base Mario 3 theme, the original theme of 1-1, and Bomb Battlefield.
Oh yeah, King Babam.
Yeah.
And King Boo. So two famous bosses from Mario 64. Is King Boo from Mario 64?
Technically it's Big Boo, but he does show up in Mario 64 DS when you're saving Luigi, so I guess it technically counts. So
they make an appearance in the movie, and they appear. So there's a part of the plot where Peach agrees, or she agrees in quotes, to marry Bowser, and a bunch of people show up for their wedding, like people do, and King Babam shows up and sits down in the front row, and like, if you've seen King Babam before, like, there's no mistaking, that is King Babam.
Yep, big old Babam with a crown and a giant mustache.
Yep, big old white mustache.
Then King Boo, which is basically a giant boo with a crown.
Yep. Funny enough, you don't really see him other than like
that one little
them walking in. Like, he isn't used as a plot. But on the other hand, King Babam is used as a plot.
Yeah, plot device. Yeah, a little bit of fire.
You could say a device.
Yeah. Of explosive proportions.
Yeah. Okay.
Would you say that's all for this topic?
I'd say we wrap this up, or else we're going to become a Mario. Or wrap up this topic, or else we're going to become a Mario podcast.
Yeah, this topic in specific. Not wrapping up quite yet.
Do you want to do this one, and then we can do this one? Or do you want me to do this one first?
You can do that one first.
Okay, we're going to kind of do like a quick zoom through this one.
Yeah,
funny enough, because of this topic. Annoying words that are overused by Gen Z. I'm just going to do like the first 5 because I think there's 14 in this one. So let's just go through this list. Quick ones. First word we got, canceled.
Start off strong.
This one is. When do you think this word like started commonly being used? The term canceled. In the term of people being... I can't even describe it without using it.
People being canceled. Well, definitely within the past 10 years.
Oh.
Like, in fact, I can probably cut that in half. Last 5 years.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's just... with Twitter blowing up and like people becoming more connected to the internet, it's just canceled. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just an annoying word for anyone to hear.
More sensitive.
It's not like it's even like just annoying for old people. It's just annoying to hear in general from any age range.
Yeah. My advice, people just need to grow a pair and just shut up.
Gavin, you can't say that or else you're going to get cancelled.
Come at me.
Okay, let's zoom to the next one. Oh, God. You can't see it, but Gavin and I just saw it. The next one is pretty sus, if you could say. That word is sus. The term sus is a shortened version of suspicious. Who knew? Some people find this term annoying as it can be seen as a lazy and unhelpful way to communicate one's feelings or concerns about something. We all know where this term came from.
Among Us!
Among Us!
Yeah.
And now, since Among Us became more popular, you're seeing Among Us drawings everywhere and the term sus being used unironically.
Yep. And people freak out whenever they see SUS in any form of configuration right next to each other.
Or they see anything that looks like a crewmate.
Yep.
Like that one, there was a meme posted a long time ago, and it was that guy saying, I don't know this meme now, but in the future this is a meme. And it was
it's a fire alarm.
A fire alarm light. And it looks just like the Among Us crewmate.
Yep.
Okay, let's zip on to the next one. Oh, God. This term isn't really used. Actually, this is literally describing the name of what this is. It isn't really used by the name unless you're physically calling it out. But the term is gaslighting.
Yep.
If you don't know what gaslighting is, it's kind of like you say something and then you try to like trick the person or like word right there, manipulate the person into not believing that you actually said it.
Yeah.
So I didn't talk about this.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't. Why are you even saying that? Yeah. And anyways, since you're gonna go on you. Okay, I'll let you talk.
Basically, gaslighting is used to manipulate specific information about like a loved one, making them believe that they did or didn't do something.
Yeah, or you just try to stretch out their words. Oh, actually, that's just manipulation. You're trying to stretch out your words, not theirs.
Yeah. Yeah, whether not to save your own skin or make them feel bad about themselves.
Yeah. Okay, let's do two more.
Yeah.
Oh, an ad.
That's an ad.
Oh, God. Dude, remember when this one was going around in like 10th grade?
Yep.
This one, everyone knows this one from everywhere around the internet. Even if you probably aren't a part of the internet, people still use this word. Because it's such just a common word. You ready for the name of it? Gavin, how about you say it? I don't even want to say it.
Simp.
You want to read this one?
Yeah, sure. The term simp is a slang word often used to describe a man who's too subservient or overly attentive to women, particularly in a romantic relationships. While the term can be playful or humorous, it can also be overused and misused to become a derogatory insult. Some people find the word annoying and even harmful, as it can perpetuate toxic masculinity and shame men for expressing emotions, caring towards women. What a shame.
Yep.
Toxic masculinity.
Imagine being so like loving towards somebody and you care about them so much, and then you get called out for being too loving and caring of that person.
Yeah.
And like it said, what Gavin just read, it perpetuates toxic masculinity and makes it so then guys are like, well, I don't want to be that, so I'm not going to treat people nice, or because I don't want to be called that.
Yeah. I mean, in basic terms, it's been an evolutionary thing that men can't really show emotion because they've been known to, do all the protecting and whatnot. And the common thing is that if they show emotion, it's seen as weakness.
Yeah, and then people get called that, and that just becomes a death loop.
Mm-hmm.
And never gets changed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do the last one. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to do it. God. This one. I'm gonna try to describe it and let you guess before I say the word. So
I'm looking at it right now, so...
No, not you, just the listeners.
Okay.
I mean, if you wanted to, you could try to erase your memory of this one. But, so this is like, somebody really wants attention online. Like, they'll do anything to get that attention. If it's like...
Dangerous.
I'm trying to
or
think
stupid.
of a bizarre example.
Ooh, I know. The thing where people were stealing cars and 4 people died because of it.
Oh, yeah, the Kia challenge or whatever the hell that was called.
Mm.
Here, let me just read it without saying the word. How annoying is this word? Super irritating, as it can be seen as a superficial and shallow way to measure someone's worth or influence. Additionally, overuse of the term blank can contribute in a culture of social comparison and status seeking.
If you could figure out what this word is...
If you don't know what this word is, then I don't even think you're listening to this podcast. Yeah. The word is clearly clout.
Yep. The disease that has infected the minds of many.
Yep. Everyone's trying to get the clout. If it's doing the most dumbest things in the world, or it's like stealing cars and joyriding them and then posting your crimes online.
Guarantee there's someone will make a challenge called like the Russian roulette challenge, but they forget to take out all the bullets from the cylinder and they pop himself.
And
people would do it.
Have to worry about that person.
Yeah. People would do it because, they know they can get popular off of it.
Yeah.
People would sell their souls for a bit of success. This generation has proved it.
Even if it was just for 10 seconds of fame.
Mm-hmm.
And then they never get fame again. I guess they just want to feel the high of popularity.
Yep, even if they never actually lived to see it.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you want to zoom into our final topic?
Yep, let's go.
Oh god, I'm using the word zoom. Slide.
Okay.
Let's make this one brief.
Yeah. Brace yourself for a tidal wave of chat GTP or GPT email scams. These language models, a single scammer can run hundreds or thousands of cons in parallel, night and day, in every language under the sun.
I don't even think we really need to read this.
Yeah.
I guess you could just read the first paragraph.
Yeah. Being run by undergraduate computer science students everywhere, ask ChatGPT to generate phishing emails and test whether these are better at persuading victims to respond or click on the link than usual spam. It's an interesting experiment, and results are likely to vary widely based on the details of the experiment. But while it's an easy experiment to run, it misses the real risk of large language models, or LLMs, writing scam emails. Today, human-run scams aren't limited by the number of people who respond to the initial email contact. They are limited by the labor-intensive process of persuading those people to send the scammer money. LLMs are about to change that. A decade ago, one type of spam email had become a punchline on every late-night show. I'm the son of a late king of Nigeria in need of your assistance. Nearly everyone had gotten 1 or 1,000 of those emails, to the point that it seemed that everyone must have known their scams.
I remember seeing those emails. Or not like directly seeing them, but like hearing about them everywhere.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, I'm a late king. For some reason I don't have money. Give me your money and I'll double it. Wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. That's just something like incredibly stupid, and sometimes it doesn't even make like grammatical English sense.
Yeah, like a lot of times you can tell like what is and isn't scammed because it's in like super broken English, or there's like very obvious spelling errors.
Yeah. Or like you can just tell like it was translated because like the way that it's like spelled out is like, English is like a very complex language. Like we have words that can mean up to 3 different things depending on like which way they're spelled. Mm-hmm. So like you can just tell when something's wrong with like you could tell it was just like put through a translator and then like put on. Yeah.
And interesting fact, the word set has the most meanings on a word of the English language ever. with 500.
What?
Yep. The word set has 500 meanings. I think. That's at least what I saw.
Well, seat,
like,
set.
Yeah, you can set something up. You can do a set of, like, reps in the gym.
Oh, you mean, like, the amount of meanings, not the amount of spellings?
Yeah.
I was getting confused for a second.
Like, there's probably a lot more.
Yeah, but, like, set something up, like you said.
Yeah,
I need help on set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
English is confusing.
Yeah, although it's apparently not nearly as bad as, like, Mandarin. So
let's get back to the main topic.
Yeah.
It's scary that it's scary and cool that AI has gotten this far.
Yeah, scary in the fact that it can allow people to do very devious and bad things at the push of a button, but cool that allows for, more opportunity when it comes to specific things. Unfortunately, that includes scamming, though.
Yeah, like, you could use your email to, like, I'm not saying cheat on any schoolwork because that's literally illegal. Like, you can get in legal trouble if you cheat on schoolwork and college work, but you could, like, use it to look up, like, a prompt for a story that you could write. Like, not the whole story, but, like, a general idea of what you could write about. Or, like, you could just look up something, because, like, with Google, you could look up, like, top 10 free video editing softwares. And then you go on Google and you get, like, a website that has a bunch of ads on it, and, like, half them are free trial. But then you just go on, like, Chat GPT and look that up, and it gives you 10 right off the bat. Then you can do your own research on each one. Or, like, if one of them isn't what you're looking for, you just say, like, give me 10 more options. And then it'll literally just give you 10 more options based off of the ones that were already given.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird because I don't even recall any of this existing, like, not even, like, a year ago.
Yeah.
And now, like,
it's everywhere.
Yeah, and now you can literally just open up a new tab, go into ChatGPT, make an email, like, sign in with your email, and then you can just basically look up anything.
Yep, generate anything. Basically, it'd be a very easy source of entertainment.
Well, that and ChatGPT has had a lot of, like, exploits and glitches to it, so it isn't 100% accurate, but the AI can't do things like, the AI can't be political, the AI can't
teach you how to build weapons.
Yeah, and AI doesn't have its own personality, so, like, if you ask it, like, what's your view on modern US today's society or something like that, it would give you back a response like, as an AI, I cannot respond to this because I do not have physical human emotions. Mm-hmm. Like, it's very, like, to the point. Like, why would you even ask, like, a robot that question, basically?
Yeah. It's, like, also one of those things where, how should I say this? There's, like, a certain point where, there always will be, like I said, a point where AI can't really do anything, like, because AI without limits is a very dangerous thing.
Oh my god. Yeah, we're going to get to a point where you build AI so much that AI will become so, like, uncomprehendable that it will literally take us, like, years to understand what the AI is able to understand in seconds.
Yeah.
Like, supercomputers and everything are just becoming super advanced.
Yeah, like, it's funny I mentioned that, AI could process information faster than the human brain, which
Almost
might
definitely.
already do. Which might already be doing that.
Yeah, because AI just popped out of nowhere, and now, like, we're seeing examples of AI being used with Google, Microsoft, actually. I'll show you this right now on air, Gavin. Mm-hmm. If you look up something, so I'm just going to, like, look up random text, and then if I just scroll up, they added this new feature where instead of just Googling, you can just look up, like, scroll up on the page of Microsoft Edge, and you just get an AI. It just says, welcome to new Bing, your AI-powered copilot for the web. And then you can just ask AI for anything. Like, it's just becoming more prevalent in what we do.
Yep. Pretty soon, AI just will be another norm in society of the world. But like I said, if it's not like limited or regulated, it can be very dangerous.
Yeah, I think AI, the way AI is going with AI search, I think eventually the original search engine is going to be completely thrown out, or like at least archived, and everyone's just going to use AI searching like engines.
Yeah, probably.
Because everything on AI search engines are like straight to the point, like no bullshit, just straight to the point. Like you give it a question, you get an answer. Like if I want to learn how to bake a cake, I can just look up how to bake a cake. Here are your ingredients, here's what you need to do, and then you can be like, give me a website, like give you a website based off of what it already gave you.
Yeah.
In a way, it's actually more like less time consuming than just
searching the web,
just Googling it. Yeah.
Yeah. Which
is scary and cool at the same time. It's kind of like a 50-50 feeling.
Yeah, definitely, because, there's always going to be that one point where, what happens when, all of a sudden, like, AI gets, like, so out of hand that people start looking up with it, how to make a nuclear bomb or something like that. Or, like, other weapons of, like, mass destruction.
Yeah, I hope that they regulate it in that way. You should never be able to just, like, if you look up those things, they should just put you on a list.
Yeah,
there's no reason, like, even if you're looking up as a joke, like, why would you, like, if they could clearly tell it's like, oh, it's just a kid goofing around, then, like, maybe I would be fine. Like, kid just looks it up once as a joke, but if it's, like, a person looking up all this, like, stuff, then they should be put on a list or something.
Yeah. Like, another problem is, like, what happens if AI gains full sentience?
Oh.
Like, there's always going to be that argument, what happens when all of a sudden they think, humans are, a big problem plaguing the world, and they decide to, start a Terminator-style revolution.
I don't want my AIs to be like that.
Yeah.
I just want them to be making video games for me and fixing code.
Or, just making things a bit more convenient.
Yeah. But not too convenient, like, if in the future, like 30 years from now, everyone's just dependent on AI, then it could, like, any place that's, like, super dependent on technology could easily be taken over.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to know how to, like, survive on their own without, like, the internet, or...
Yeah.
They're not going to have any natural, like, survival instincts.
Yeah. And, when you really need those things, they won't kick in.
Yeah.
Because, that's the problem with coddling people. If you coddle them, and when they're finally out, like, on their own, then, they're not going to know how to survive. They're not going to know how to take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Basically sending someone out to die.
Yeah, that's, like, the joke. It's so sad that, like, people think like this way, and to be honest, I think this way too, but I saw a joke on TikTok that was like, how did the original people that made internet not, like, how did they use Google to figure out how to make internet before they had internet? And it's
Jesus
like,
Christ.
And it's like, that's kind of a funny joke, but it's kind of, like, sad for people to be like, oh, if I don't know how to do this, then my number one go-to is always to just Google it.
Yeah.
Like, in ways it can be helpful, but sometimes it's just better to physically talk to somebody about it, because maybe they have, like, a special way or method.
Yeah, trial and error it.
Like, AI could try to replicate, like, your father, but it can't fully actually be your father.
Yeah. It can try to replicate, like, some artisan master of, like, candle making or something like that, but can never probably truly get it down, because
can't have that humanistic touch to it.
Yeah. Like, especially art. Like, there was that one thing where, like, an AI won an art contest, but, like, art, like whether it be music, video games. I do consider video games an art form. Don't fight me on that. Movies, TV shows. I already said music, or just like paintings, like other stuff like that. Like a lot of that stuff comes from the heart.
Yeah.
Like at least at some point.
Not some computing core on a multi-network AI generated. I'm just throwing buzzwords.
Yeah. And like
off of some AI.
You know, if you know it's AI generated, then it really loses a lot of the human aspect.
It loses like credit.
Yeah. Yeah. Not to mention, like, people will see it as lazy, or, you know, people will think like they're posers or not really worth. They're not trying.
Yeah.
Which
I could see why people would say that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, the art world was in like tatters because of the AI generated painting that won.
Yeah, some categories now, like some categories are physically like making you have to say like a distinct between physical human art and AI art. Like art places and like are doing competitions of like best human art and best AI art.
Which is definitely...
Or AI inspired art.
Yeah. Which is definitely like good, I guess. You know, there should, you know, be human, like human only stuff.
Yeah. It's just such a distinct difference that one or like has a physical advantage over the other in terms of thinking, planning, timing. Yeah, and the other one is like raw. Yeah, it could be like emotion. Raw emotions of the like the painting, or like the painting could have a story behind it. Not saying all paintings that have stories behind it are good, but like the banana on the wall.
Yo.
But like an AI could just be like, oh, like for an AI sob story of how they made something, it'd just be like, oh, over 1 million ones and zeros, I've made it through to generate this amazing piece of art. It's like,
you know.
That doesn't really sound as good as like somebody struggling to make it through life, and then like they get luck from one kind person on the street, and then they become an artist because you know, like that just sounds way better than like, oh, I just put this prompt in and then it gave it to me.
Yeah. Or like a struggling musician, like who like genuinely believes what they can make it. They just need to put some time into it.
Yeah.
Versus like an AI that can make a beat, it can make a set of lyrics, it can even make a voice.
Yep.
But what AI doesn't have is a soul. And if you can't feel like the intentions behind like the music that's being made, then you know, people don't really tend to be able to like maybe not empathize with it, but like connect to it.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like modern rap music, because it's all about something really stupid.
Yeah. Most music, I'm not going to say all music, but most of the rap music, there's exceptions, but most of it kind of has the same template. Like, some people just like listening to music because it just sounds good, or like it sounds different. Like, I heard an example of like, I don't remember where I heard this, but the person was basically saying that some people treat the vocals of people, instead of it being like an actual voice and like understanding their lyrics, they just think of it as another instrument, basically.
Never thought of it like that.
See, if you think about it that way, that would explain why some people listen to mumble rap and like it. It's because they just think of it as a different instrument that like plays an overall tone of the like the beat in the background, or like the hit of the drums, or like this like the clicking and like snares. Like they just think of it all as one instrument, not like, oh my gosh, that guy just said I'm lit and I know it 5 times in a row. That's kind of repetitive. Yeah. Like, it's kind of just like you gotta take your own view on things.
Yeah. I'm definitely not part of that camp. That's all I know.
Hey, but at least you were like, at least you saw in a different light.
Yeah. Like I guess I can respect that, people think of voices as an instrument, because like even I do say that, my instrument of choice is my voice. I'm not like I'm only really musically inclined in singing.
Yeah.
And I guess as an argument for the other side of the fence of, like listening to words that, has to mean something. Like, perfect example, an Avenged Sevenfold song called Brompton Cocktail. It's a song about a guy who wants one last drink because he's in terminal like condition and he's dying, and he resolves to kill himself because he wants to die on his own terms. Like, I think that's a very powerful song.
Yeah, and some songs have more story, and then some songs are more like, oh, this is a perfect example. So, like, some songs are just, like, actual songs, like it's a story, right? So, like, you could compare, like, what you were just talking about, the Avenged Sevenfold song, is, like, a story, like, it has a plot, beginning and ending, like, all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could classify, like, other music, like, it just sounds good, and, like, the person... It sounds like they're not really saying a story. Like, their vocals are just like another instrument. You could classify that as like a soundtrack to a game. Mm-hmm. Where they're two separate things, but they can both be like appreciated in ways.
Yeah, means something different.
Getting all philosophist.
Yeah. Philosophical.
Hey, it's good to have like deep thinking conversations.
Yeah, helps expand the bounds of the mind.
Think about things a different way.
I guess if I want to impart one little bit of wisdom on our viewers, is that you have to understand that, no one will ever always think exactly as you will. Like, mm-hmm. Everyone will always have something different. Like, they always prefer something different. They always or like in this case dislike something different, or though everyone has their own flow, I guess is what I'm really trying to say.
Yeah, you could think the same about one thing but have complete opposite thoughts about a different topic.
Yeah, and I think that's important, because if you shut yourself in an echo chamber for the people that only agree with you on like 99% of the matters in the world, then like you're gonna become soft. Like, that's all I can really say.
You won't understand.
Yeah, you need to interact with people that have different views from you.
Challenge your viewpoints.
Yeah, challenge your viewpoints. You need to listen to those people's viewpoints to expand your horizons. Maybe it'll change your mind.
Maybe understand them more.
Yeah. Just understand them more. Or, at least allow you to understand why people think like that.
Yeah.
And
that's another reason that AI will take a very long time and probably will never even be able to simulate just humans. Yeah.
For better or for worse, and I've said this a lot this episode, but yeah, for better or for worse, and anything could happen. Like, if they can't really emulate a human, then, maybe, honestly, now I think about it, I don't really know. Like, what would be the benefits of an AI emulating a human?
Well, this leads to another problem that we can quickly gloss about, but if an AI were to emulate a human, it still wouldn't have that human touch, even though it could be, like, let's say you're texting an AI, like, the AI on your phone is named, like Todd. You could talk to Todd normally, and Todd could, like, tell you about his day and, like, what he did, but you still know behind that that's just an AI.
Yeah, you don't get the same connection.
It doesn't have human emotions. Like, you could just tell it to be, like, happy that day or sad that day. And that's the reason that, like, AI, I hope, and I wouldn't exactly guarantee, but, like, AIs could probably simulate humans, like, extremely well in the future. But to the people that are trying to simulate it, they'll know that it's an AI. It doesn't have the soul behind it, or, like, the house address that it lives at, and the food that it eats every single day.
Yeah, the other people it talks to.
Yeah.
Or the people it grew up with.
Exactly.
No. AI doesn't have that. Well, humans are very complex organisms, and, it shows because look at the stuff that we've been able to pull off. It's just a shame that over time, like, we stop seeing each other as, like, people. Like, especially if we disagree on stuff, we start seeing each other as, savages, animals.
Always a target or an opponent.
Yeah, opponent, and for some reason, we're always the victims.
Yeah.
I think that, like, utopia will always be a foreign concept, but I think the closest thing to utopia that Earth could ever get is when everyone at least understands each other. Like,
understands each other and is able to accept others' opinions.
Yeah, like,
but not have to agree with them.
Yeah. We don't necessarily always have to get along, but at least we have to get along enough to the point where we're not killing each other
over minor disagreements or major disagreements.
Both.
Now we gotta find a good way to wrap this up.
Well, that was our philosophy for tonight. Yeah,
this episode was a little bit different than our last one, but I think we'll be getting back into... We'll kind of do like a bounce back and forth occasionally. From gaming to deep thoughts.
Yeah.
Well, I really enjoyed this, though.
Yeah, me too. And, they'll know when, what mode we're on. If we're on philosophy or if we're on, having fun.
Yeah, we'll try to say it at the start. Like this one, we kind of hinted it. Like, we don't really have gaming topics this week, but we had, like, drama news related. I think that's when we'll get into our philosophy, like, deep thinking mode.
Yeah.
But that was pretty good.
Yep. Want to sign us off?
Yeah, I'll do it. Thank you for listening. If people have listened all the way to the end, I hope they have at least thought about it. Maybe they paused it to, like, think about it.
Maybe they did.
But thank you for listening to our second episode of the ExtraCasual podcast. We're going to try to stick to the weekly. Right now, we're having a good time with it, but in the future, we might have to skip a week and do bi-weekly, and we'll let you know if we have to do that. But this is Gavin. Wait a minute. This is Ashton.
And this is Gavin.
Signing off. See you guys next time. Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.